Ladies and gentlemen, we are live once again tonight for another edition of NASCAR 21 Ignition on this custom schedule season. It is the Pocono Mountains 350, the second leg of the Pocono doubleheader on this custom schedule season. We're all ready to race number 12 on the year heading into the night. We've had 8 different winners so far this season. Still only 2 drivers with multiple wins. And boy, did we have a rough outing last night, failing to make it to the finish of yet another race. I did test out some issues that we had yesterday. By that, I mean, well, first off, the issues that we had yesterday is I made a green flag pit stop after we had blown a right front tire, and then the game kind of went wonky after that. First, we were really, really loose despite not actually making a setup change. After we went down into the pits, repaired damage, and put 4 fresh tires back on the race car, if you go back and watch it, it was probably about 6-7 laps into the run. It wasn't bad to start. 6-7 laps into the run, though, it got really, really loose. Loose enough to the fact where I just pitted with the rest of the field again instead of trying to wait it out and trying to make it a one less stop to the end of the race, was short pitting the first stop with everybody else. So I was like, okay, whatever. I'll just stay on the same strategy. We tightened it up. And then after I tightened it up, the game started. I tightened it up first off by putting a round and a half a wedge into the car. And then the car was kind of like sliding back and forth on the straightaway. I tried to show you guys that by putting my controller into the camera, telling you that I wasn't on the analog stick at all, but the car down the straightaway was like fishtailing for some reason on its own. So we cracked the wall a couple extra times, blew a right front tire like 2 extra times. And then we got turned by Quinn Houff in turn 2, because after the third or fourth time we pit, I was like, okay, let me drop the wedge out of it. Maybe it's a glitch with putting wedge into the car at Pocono for whatever reason. So I took the wedge out of the car, had the same setup that we had at the start of the day. I was like, if it goes back to being loose again, oh well. It's better than, having it just like sway down the straightaways. At least we can get to the end of the race. Well, for some reason, dropping the wedge, which should loosen the car up, went really, really tight. Like, I mean, it was really tight. I was out of the gas, like, all the way through the corner, and I couldn't get back into the throttle till I was, like, basically on the straightaway, and we were just getting hauled by, like, even the slowest cars, even though we had, like, 20-lap fresher tires. It just didn't make any sense. And then we ended up getting turned by Quinn Houff, and the game black flag made, like, just shy of the halfway mark. So hopefully we can get through the end of it. Hopefully we don't have any issues with that. I did go into a race now session with these same settings, with the 100% race length, race only, all the fuel and tire wear stuff on like we usually would, complex damage as we usually would, cautions on as we usually would, and we ended up, I made a green flag pit stop. I didn't make any adjustment changes just to see if the car was going to start to like sway back and forth or do anything like it did yesterday, and it felt fine. So hopefully it's all right. Maybe it's a bug where if you blow a tire at Pocono, it starts to do that. That's the only other thing I didn't test. I didn't want to test it either because I was scared that if I did it once, it was going to be stuck like that the rest of the night. So hopefully we have better fortune here today. So if we just keep the car completely clean throughout all 350 miles, 400 laps today, I think we can make green flag stops, so we're not going to have any glitches at Pocono, so we'll hope for the best. Easier said than done, especially with this game. Welcome, everybody, though, into the stream. DB Forever 85, Ben on YouTube, Joshua Rumsey, Tim Irvin, Mikey Boy, NASCAR LOL, Joshua Rumsey, TRG Eternal Tornado, Billy Kramer. Welcome, everybody, into the stream here early on. Like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. And we're about to get into this Pocono race. The best thing about having those issues last night at Pocono is we get to come back at it better than ever again today, with a chance for Christopher Bell to redeem himself and look for his 4th win of the season. I'm actually excited for this. I'm hungry. I am hungry. I'm sure Christopher Bell himself, with this game, the driver we are using for this custom schedule season, is absolutely ready for this race. Alex Hayden will now take the intros away for the start of the Pocono Mountain 350.
Welcome back to Race 2 of the Pocono doubleheader here at the Tricky Triangle. I'm Alex Hayden, bringing you all of the action from today's race. This racetrack has 3 unique turns modeled after turns from some of the most iconic racetracks in America. We had plenty of action in yesterday's race, and we're expecting to see more of the same intensity today. Let's head trackside to catch up with the drivers making their final preparations and get ready to hear the command.
All right, we'll take a look at tonight's starting lineup for the Pocono Mountains 350, again at the Pocono Raceway. It is going to be a hot day, just like last night's race, 89 degrees. We saw how slick the car was in the second run of the race. Hopefully we don't have that issue again today, but regardless of the fact, we got to try to tough it out and not make any adjustments. I don't want any glitches in this race if we can help it. There are some tracks I was able to make some adjustment changes. We didn't have any glitches at all. Obviously, we had glitches there at Pocono. I'm going to do whatever it takes to not have any issues, but we'll see. Bubba Wallace will be starting on the pole for today's race. Chris Buescher will be starting outside front row in second place. BJ McLeod and Alex Bowman will be in row number 2. Ryan Newman, Michael McDowell in row number 3. Kyle Larson and Daniel Suarez in row 4. Larson, of course, won the championship in the Cup Series in real life just a couple days ago. And then in row number 5, rounding out the top 10, David Reagan and Matt DiBenedetto. So we'll be starting last, once again, with no qualifying or practice heading into this race today. For the most part, outside of the lap and a half I did the test, just to make sure we weren't going to have, hopefully, the same issues that we had last night. This race is scheduled to be 25 miles longer, which would make it an extra 10 laps for the scheduled distance compared to last night. Still a fairly quick race, though, so this will fly by, especially if we get no cautions. Remember, also, we had a crash early in the race that Bell was able to miss, and then he missed a spinning Alex Bowman after the first set of pit stops, so we had a couple spins, a couple crashes in the first 25 laps. What will today's race bring as the green flag is in the air, and Bubba Wallace will lead the field to the green and down into turn 1. 2 by 2 through the field. Bunch of cars moving up. Bell wants to stay out of trouble here early on with the field packed together. He was kind of waiting patiently at the back of the field, and patiently waiting at the back was the right move. Again, with that crash we saw about 4 laps into the race yesterday, they're already fanning out 3 wide now into the tunnel turn, the tightest turn on the racetrack. Really narrow exit to the quarter as well. Man, oh man, oh man. They're 3 wide into turn 3. Cars washing up wide off the curbing on the inside of the racetrack. Somebody almost got into the wall up there checking up the outside lane. There we go. Had to get the chat back on. Chastain almost slid up into Kaz Growler, it looked like, there towards the back of the pack. Chastain is one of the highest drivers in the point standings right now of the drivers without a win this season. Final year for Chip Ganassi Racing, of course, with this video game, so he's trying to get that 42 team out on top. Our first of 2 season mode races, though. Or season modes, I should say, with this game. Westman, welcome to the stream. Bell had a pretty good long run car yesterday as well, at least in that opening run. We'll see if that'll be the case here today as well. Car's definitely handling well, at least a couple laps in. Tight getting back into the gas into turn 1. Chase Elliott is at the back of the pack right now. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is at the back. Remember, he qualified on the pole for yesterday's race, but he was involved in that first accident, ended up finishing dead last. He was the only one of the 4 cars that were involved in that accident to not make it to the end of the race. Bell finished 39th right in front of him after crashing out midway through the race. Do they do the starting order inverse just like they did in real life? I doubt it. I wonder if they do that for the career mode, though. Probably not, if I had to guess, but I haven't gotten that far in the career mode. Really tight that dirty air off the exit of turn 3. Stayed in the gas out the pressure tires. Barely kept it off the wall, but as the run continues, it's going to get interesting. We got cars scattering into turn 1. Look at all the snake and accordion lines going on right now. Bell's starting to catch up to the back of the pack. It is getting very, very racy back here as Bell gets to the inside of the 16 of Kaz Growler off the exit of turn 1. The entire field is still packed together right now. Again, the drafting help is huge. We saw some big packs yesterday as well. That might have caused the opening crash, and it started at the front of the field. Somehow only 4 cars were collected. Yeah, demolish that like button, everybody, indeed. As Dark Crypto said down in the chat. Welcome to the stream as well, Dark Crypto. I'm honestly scared we're going to get another crash again. We're at lap 5. We made it 1 lap further than what we did yesterday without a crash, but everybody's packed together. And remember, we didn't get a caution for that happening yesterday either. The caution we would have had was when Bell DNF'd. Just shy of lap 55. Pulling onto the draft on Kaz Growler. He got underneath it for a little bit, and then he got a little tight turn 2, kind of dropped behind. The field is starting to single file out, at least towards the back of the pack, but the middle of the pack, they're still 2 and 3 wide. Great corner in turn 2 that time for Bell as he closes to the back bumper in the 16 of Growler. But again, he has just got to kind of stay patient here in the early going. Really, really wants to stay out of trouble. He's going to do whatever he can to not DNF the rest of this season. Got to the inside of Growler. Maybe a little bit of side drafting off the exit in turn 3. He'll get away from that 16 car down to the bottom. Drafting help, though, up high between Growler and Alfredo. A couple of those rookies, so Bell's just going to hop in line behind him. Growler with that great pull into turn 1. Oh, the field's checking up big time. Big time off the exit of turn 1. Oh, massive checkup. Bell was riding the brakes a little bit in the center of the corner. He's going to fly by a bunch of race cars who lost their momentum now. And he rode the brakes so he could at least try to stay somewhat in the throttle. A lot easier to do that as well on the short run. They didn't crash there, but Bell picked up some free positions. Up to 34. NZ Jr., welcome to the stream. Is the game now playable? Not really. We've had some luck. Most of it has been on the road courses. The ovals are really, really bad in this game still. There hasn't really been any patches for over almost 2 weeks. 2 weeks as of Thursday. But I will say the road courses on this game are a lot better and more smooth, way less buggy than the ovals. So, I mean, if you were to buy this game right now, I'd consider running mainly road courses. I think you'll have fun with that, but the ovals are just so unpredictable with the cautions and everything else. 3 wide in the tunnel turn again. They almost make contact. Can't tell who that is. I think that's Austin Dillon. Remember, Austin Dillon won yesterday's race at Pocono. He's at the back of the pack right now as he makes a pass on Justin Haley. Bell trying to make some passes himself here underneath the double zero of Quinn Houff. He didn't pull low to break the side draft. Houff pulled him back a little bit. Plus, again, the drafting help in front of him with Ross Chastain. Or, sorry, with Justin Haley. And Chastain's coming up from the rear. Check up in the middle of turn 1 again. We got some cars checking up at the back of the pack. Bell checked up as well, though. He couldn't stay in the gas. He got a little tight. Wasn't far enough back like he was earlier to be able to not get tight out of the the dirty air. Chastain is really pinching the 20 car Bell down. Bell went to the apron to give himself more room. Chastain's still there. Pretty fun race early on, I do have to say. A lot better going than what we had yesterday.
3 wide, you got 2 up top.
Dillon Out in front, Bell had a big run in the draft off of Austin Dillon down the long pond straightaway. Stretches it now 4 wide on the long pond straightaway. No drafting help except for the cars on the outside. Quinn Houff made an incredible move up high while Bell made an incredible move down low. The front runners are starting to pull away a little bit, but the pack from about 5th on back is still very racy. It's going to be the best oval race we've had so far this year if things continue the way they are, but we haven't even gotten to the first pit stop yet. 3 wide in the tunnel turn. Bell holds onto his line. Didn't get that tight, surprisingly, behind the 47 of Stenhouse. Austin Dillon up the middle to make the pass on the 20 of Bell and the 00 of Quinn Houff. Hugging the curbing in turn 3. Bell to that left rear corner panel of Austin Dillon, trying to side draft him now. Down the long pond straightaway, and he's in line behind the 47 as well. There's way too many cars on the outside. They get such a great drafting help. You just tell how much slower the 20 and the 47 are. Now Bell's going to go 3 wide into 1. He's going to be aggressive.
2 on the outside.
Stenhouse pulled down in front of him, but Stenhouse got tight.
2 on the outside.
Bell barely clears him off the exit of the corner. R6, welcome to the stream. Already 10 likes. Awesome job, guys, down below.
Clear.
Chastain looks really fast here in the early going. He started in that last row with Christopher Bell. 3 by 3 in the tunnel turn. Keselowski took a move to the inside. I believe that's Brad.
2 on the outside. You're 3. Got 1 right.
A couple cars.
It's
kind of hard to tell right now. Oh my goodness, Brad almost got into the grass and entered in way too deep into turn 3. He had to lift and check up behind the 77 of Justin Haley. And here comes the run to the bottom by Christopher Bell. He's going to try to break the side draft down to the inside as a 3 wide still up high.
2 on the outside. You're 3.
This is nuts. Oh my goodness. Bell was moving up in line as Chastain was coming down the side draft, and we know Chastain to be extra aggressive. This is narrow. Austin Dillon gets loose in the middle lane. Contact between him and Justin Haley on the inside. Oh my gosh.
3 wide. 2 outside.
This is insane, and now they're 4 wide again. Bell to the inside. Haley lost a lot of momentum after the contact with Austin Dillon as he drops back into the pack. Keselowski squeezed into the middle. Contact with Quinn Houff up high. Houff almost got into the wall. Keselowski lost some momentum as well, and Bell escapes to the inside lane. Big check up there in turn 3. Bell playing it safe behind the 53 Rick Ware Racing Machine. Oh my gosh, this is just a handful right now. At least the car's handling great. Bell trying to side draft.
1 down low. You're in the middle here.
Oh man, Keselowski's coming up high now. 53 lost a lot of momentum though with the side draft. Bell pulled it back.
Clear.
2 of Keselowski was very strong in the draft behind Austin Dillon. Dillon pulls down the block Bell in the middle of the corner. Big stack up in that bigger pack just inside the top 10 up there. And this line of cars is going to kind of pull away. I mean, just look at how much the draft is playing an effect on the outside. Bell doesn't want to get there because he doesn't want to get stuck on the outside in a corner. He feels like that's the danger zone. It's a little bit safer on the bottom, kind of control your own destiny. And if there's a wreck, you have a little bit of room to escape down to the inside. It's kind of tough unless it's on the main straightaway, though.
3 wide. 2 outside. Clear.
Justin Haley with a gutsy move to go 3 wide up the middle in turn 3. Lap 13, we saw some cars pit right around lap 20 last night. Bell's going to attempt to make this on 3 stops in today's race. He makes about 36, 37 laps per run. He can do that.
2 on the outside. You're 3.
Oh man, he had half the car in the apron. The car was getting a little slidey.
Stay left.
Still gets a decent drive off. Pretty parallel with the 96 car off the exit of the corner. I agree with you 100% though.
Clear all around. Stay left.
Dillon moving forward. Starting towards the back. Oh man, this is a gutsy move by Christopher Bell. Just powers his way past David Reagan and Austin Dillon. Lane with a block to file himself back into the outside lane to maybe not get passed by another car himself.
3 wide, 2 outside.
Couldn't tell who he moved in front of. It looked like it was Cole Custer. The 41. Bell gets tight. Had to lift. That's going to kill his momentum. Going to try to side draft the 14 of Chase Briscoe. Oh, man, Briscoe thought about blocking him. They almost made contact down the long straightaway into turn 1. So far, we've made it through without any incidents. And they're bunching up again up here. Briscoe checked up. Fell to the inside of the 41 of Custer. 3 wide. 3 by 3 now. They're going to make it into the tunnel turn just up ahead. Kind of filing down to double file. There's still at least 3 wide for one row, excuse me. Byron really tight up there. He was moving.
Got one right.
They're 3 by 3 into turn 3. Oh, contact up the track.
Clear, clear.
It might have been Timmy Hill in the 66. Benedetto got shuffled out of line on the high side. Here comes Christopher Bell with a big run in the draft. Pulls all the way down below Chase Elliott.
Two on the outside.
Elliott not moving to the outside yet, probably because there's a car up there. Yep, 3 wide. Austin Dillon back in the mix again. 4 wide in turn 1 as Eric Jones just about made contact with Blaney. Benedetto got shot out of a cannon up high again. Oh my gosh. Amir, welcome to the stream. Yep, we are racing at Pocono here tonight. Second leg of the Pocono doubleheader.
All clear.
Longer of the 2 races.
3 wide. You got 2 up top.
Ran race 1 of the Pocono doubleheader last night. Oh man, Byron moved up the track quite a bit.
3 wide. 2 outside.
3 wide off the exit of 3.
2 on the outside. You're 3.
Bell going to try to break the side draft down to the bottom, giving himself a little bit more clearance. 34 in the middle, 10 backing up as well. Look at the outside, how much faster they are. Blaney, Suarez flying by. So is Austin Dillon again.
2 on the outside. You're 3. 3 wide.
Dillon moved up, and so did Almirola. Almirola's still moving up.
3 wide. 2 outside. 3 wide. 2 outside.
I just want to get out of this mess. We made it through with 0 contact so far. Knock on wood for a quick second. Try not to jinx it.
3 wide. 2 outside. Still there.
Flying by on the outside. Oh, Almirola with a block. They're 4 wide. 4 wide in the tunnel turn. Oh my gosh. They made it through it again. They're still 4 wide. Into turn 3. Contact. Oh my goodness. Eric Almirola, Christopher Bell, and Michael McDowell got together as they were still 4 wide all the way through the tunnel turn and into turn 3. Things get stagnated once again. Kind of spacing the pack apart. How did nobody wreck there? That had disaster written all over it. It was a matter of time until something like that happened, but that could have been way worse of a situation. Davion West, John, welcome to the stream, guys.
Got one right.
What a race early on, the first 17 laps, action-packed. The Pocono Mountains 350. And there's still 2 by 2 up there, though. They'll still only in 24th. Can't wait to find some clean air on this race car.
3 wide. You got 2 up top. 3 wide. You got 2 up top. 3
wide.
2 outside.
Once again, off the exit of turn 3. Bell trying to side draft the 34 of Michael McDowell. Bell trying to side draft the 14 of Briscoe on the high side.
Hold your line. All clear. Got 1 right. 3 wide. 2 outside.
He's hoping McDowell would move up and block the 10. Instead, he holds on to his lane to 3 wide into turn 1. Again, 3 by 3. Contact. Keselowski, Suarez, Blaney. Blaney might have been clear on the high side. And here comes Bell with a run as they checked each other up, and they're 4 wide again.
2 on the outside.
This might not be a wise decision.
2 on the outside. You're 3.
4 wide into turn 2.
2 outside. 2 on the outside.
Oh my goodness. Bell has to go down to the apron to give room. Byron checks up.
3 wide. You got 2 up top.
He had to lift to keep it off the 12 of Blaney, and they made it 4 wide through turn 2. No contact there. They still might be 4 wide back behind.
2 on the outside.
And there goes Bell to the inside.
3 wide. 2 outside.
What a pass. Can he get in front of the 78 of McLeod? Yes, he does. All clear.
All clear.
And finally has a little bit of clean air. That is just... That was wild. That's the best racing you're ever going to see at Pocono. That was, oh, nobody wrecked yet. Bell got back in the gas too soon. He had to check up. Benedetto's flying through the field right now, too. Definitely looks like he's got a really fast car. Well, backs up turn 2 pretty good. Couple cars side by side up in front. Bubba Wallace, the pole sitter, and then Martin Truex Jr. on his inside into turn 3. I have to imagine we're going to be seeing some cars pit here pretty soon. So Bell took that corner a little wide. Truex staying out. Bell checked up intentionally. So Bell inside the top 10. Truex and Wallace are slowing each other down. They're losing Hamlin side by side for almost a half a lap. Truex finally got to clear Wallace into turn 1. Bell to the inside. Bubba Wallace. Thanks for that comment, by the way, Joshua. Ethan, welcome to the stream. Get that kind of racing at Pocono every year. It'd actually be enjoyable. Yeah, we don't get that kind of racing at Pocono, but hey, Pocono went 2 for 2 with the cup races this year, in my opinion. As far as like entertainment, I mean, granted I was there in person, so that enhances it, but I thought both races were super thrilling. I mean, both those 2 races combined together, oh my goodness, heavy on the brakes. Christopher Bell to keep off of the 11 of Denny Hamlin. I believe the rest of the leaders have just pit. Bell has just taken the race lead for the first time today. Again, he's trying to make this race on 3 pit stops. So he is going to stay out for quite some time. Well, we got one car down in the grass in turn 1. Trying to get up to speed. That would be the 52 of Josh Balicki. Christopher Bell gets the lead. He's obviously going to lose a lot of track position, being where he is at. Got a Rick Ware car closing in behind. The good news is, with the speed of 2.5 mile track, he shouldn't have to worry too much. Oh man, they're side by side coming out of the pits back behind him. At least they got single file for a little bit. Bell pushes tight off the exit of turn 1. Licky looking to the inside.
All right, hold your line.
Bell's going to give him plenty of room by the time they make it into turn 2.
Got one left. Stay high.
And really bent on the outside on entry into a corner, and there he goes. So he just got out of the gas super early. Gets the car to cut to the bottom of the racetrack. Not racing these lap cars, so it's a 3 pit stop strategy race for Christopher Bell. Same thing he was going to try to do last night. Obviously, with this being 25 miles longer, 10 laps longer in length, it might be a little bit harder today. He's going to pull the bottom. He's got a few other cars coming up from behind. I'll try to pull to the bottom to give himself some extra clearance. He's going to go wide into turn 1, and he's going to let everybody on behind him by. Rewind to the inside as Bell does not want to get ran over. AI do not check up in this game if you are slower, so being on older tires right now, Bell is just playing it smart. Sophomore driver trying to drive like a veteran today to see if he can get his 4th win of the season. Remember, this is the first 550 track that we have been to so far this season outside of the 2 super speedways in the Daytona 500 and then the Geico 500 at Talladega. Keselowski to the outside. Elliott's there as well. Bell got really, really tight and had to get out of the gas, but all right, he kept it off the 9 car. He's only got a couple more lap cars behind him. He's not going to get caught by the front of the field before he ends up having to pit again. By the time they'll end up having to pit again anyway, the rest of the field will be coming down to make their 2nd stop. So, and the strategy should be playing out pretty well in Bell's favor. pull down to the inside. He's going to give Eric Almirola plenty of room up high. A great corner exit there. Drops it all the way down to the apron. So because we did not make it a full fuel run yesterday, we don't know exactly how far we could go on fuel. Again, there's no telemetry either. And the crew chief is not accurate at all in telling you how much fuel you have left, especially on the bigger tracks. With this being a 2.5 mile racetrack, we're not going to risk it too far. But if we can make it about 36 to 37 laps, we should make this on 3 stops today. As long as we go that far each run. The rest of the field, honestly, pitting about every 20 laps. I'm looking at the pit. What, about roughly 7 times? Maybe 7 times. But obviously, Pocono is a track that there's a lot of tire wear, big tire disadvantage. So we'll see. But with them hitting half the amount of time, it's a bigger track. I don't know if that's going to help or hurt Bell's strategy. I think it would help him because it's going to give him quite a bit of clean air even on older tires, which should help the handling of the car despite the lack of grip. Same box at 3 laps. I don't want to pick quite that early. At least, at bare minimum, I want to make it 35 laps. I wish I was an octopus. Open to the stream. I didn't read the last part of that. I am not going to read it out loud. 15 likes already. Thank you so much, everybody, for hitting that like button. We have had over 20 people watching for most of the stream. Like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. You boys said to pit at lap 26. I definitely don't want to pit. I know we're losing time right now, but we make it on less pit stops. And honestly, as nuts as it was in the pack, I know it might have been enjoyable for you guys to watch that crazy racing. For one, I would have to think that the pack is probably split apart a lot more because of the green flag stops, but Bill wants to stay out of trouble as much as he can possibly help it. Are starting to get a little bit on the loose side, especially turn 2 when taking it down to the apron. But it's pretty tight off exit for the most part, most of these other corners. Oh, man, really loose getting into turn 3 there. So it went from tight to loose all of a sudden here. Nowhere near as loose as what it was at one point yesterday's run, but he's only got to go about 7 to 8 more laps before he can pit and make it up 3 stops, so Bill's just going to tough it out here. Just hope it doesn't get too bad. Side by side behind him. I was wondering why they kind of stopped closing in on Christopher Bell. They're racing each other pretty hard. Justin Haley must have had a bad pit stop or something because he was right around the top 20 before those stops. Tight off the exit at turn 3. It felt like the front was pushing, but then the rear tires didn't feel like they had a whole lot of grip either. Big run in the draft, though, for Alfredo, especially now that they're single file with Newman and Haley in line behind him. Bell's just going to take it to the high side into turn 1. He's going to let all 3 underneath him. Man, they took it 3 wide. Newman was very aggressive getting to that bottom lane there. Bell just letting them through. Get some draft to try and save some fuel perhaps behind them now as well. stay within decent proximity. Down these very long straightaways, all three of them here at Pocono. Look at him just get that pole back to the inside of Newman.
Car right. All clear. Clear all around.
Lap 30 this time by. Massive run. Off the exit of turn 3. Bell got a really great exit to the corner.
Clear, clear, clear. Car right. Car
He may
right.
pass all three of these guys right back again.
Still there.
Oh man,
Still
almost
there.
got into
All clear.
Anthony Alfredo there. Slides up in line between Justin Haley and Ryan Newman. He at least was able to get around the 6 car. Oh, he DNF so he can do Sporkle. Ah, it's terrible. Well, the moment of truth is going to be the first pit stop, and whether we're going to have any major issues with the game as far as the glitches go. Here's an old one. Better than last night so far, and the racing has been far better as well. Sit behind Ryan Newman. Some draft once again here. Ashton G, welcome to the stream. See you down in the chat. Michael Turner, welcome as well. Newman pulling out of line. Thought about making a pass on Haley, and he does anyway. Looks like Joey Logano is not that far off the race lead. He is closing in quite a bit here on Bell. He's going to blow right by him when he gets there, though. I don't know how accurate the interval is. They said like 13 seconds, then said 7 seconds. There's no way he goes 6 seconds in a straightaway.
Clear, clear, clear.
I was not struggling that bad. Can't really see Bell back there yet. I see Cody Ware and Corey LaJoy were the last 2 cars on the lead lap. Or sorry, first 2 cars a lap down. They're the last 2 cars on the racetrack, though. 39th and 40th. Can't really see Logano yet back there. Ryan Newman, Anthony Alfredo side by side once again. I'm addicted to the quizzes now. Well, you're welcome for introducing those quizzes. Yeah, I got really good. I didn't do a whole lot of like NASCAR ones on there, and they update them so often. Like there's like a different quiz they update like every day. That's why I mean there's so many on there that you can do. But yeah, they're really fun. They have them for like every sport on there too, and even like non-sports games they have like a bunch of like geographical ones. History. I mean, there's like any sort of quizzes on that website. It's a pretty safe website too, so that's another reason why. Obviously, I like doing it, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like any quiz you can think of, like you can just search it, and you'll probably find something similar to what you're looking for. But yeah, that's how I passed time in study hall, especially in my junior and senior year when I was having less classes. I'd have a couple study halls a day. Get on the Chromebook. Got nothing to study for or whatever. Get on some Sporkle. It was usually it was between football and NASCAR quizzes, usually. I tried to test my knowledge on some baseball and basketball games too from time to time. Gotta change it up. No smoke in the car. I mean, we had very, well, I say minimal contact because of like the severity of the contact itself, but it was dangerous contact at that. With Michael McDowell earlier, almost got right. I mean, he was right on our right rear quarter panel. We were, what, 4 wide going into turn 3? It was insane. Getting ready to... Well, don't throw the PS4 out the window. It's probably not the PS4's fault. It's just the game itself. I feel your pain, though. All right, lap 35 this time by. It really, like, it started getting loose. The car did. It was a little tight after about lap 20, but then it started to slide a little bit more with the rear tires up the exterior corners. It kind of stopped doing that, or it stopped getting progressively worse at about lap 27, lap 28. It's kind of stayed the same, thankfully. I'm afraid it was going to get worse and worse and worse. I might have considered pitting, but hopefully the car does not change like it did last night.
Clear.
Until the tires have evened out between Justin Haley and Christopher Bell, at least with the drivers at the rear of the field. Haley's car is falling off tremendously. I'm going to try to stay out a couple extra laps here just to be safe. So again, no adjustments will be made. Not going to look to repair any damage though, that's for sure. Very, very clean race so far. Aggressive but clean. Both around Bell and Bell himself went on the attack. The only downfall of the strategy is the fact he had to start at the rear of the field, and he only really got up to about 14th before the start of green flag pit stops. Last night he was right around 7th and 8th, and a lot closer to the lead. Crazy traffic was definitely holding him back. A lot more spaced apart yesterday in the early going. Yeah, I mean, I'm able to play with the bugs. We've had times it's not enjoyable, like last night, but tonight, so far, so good. We're going to stay out at least one more lap here to lap 37. We're going to schedule the pit at lap 38. So lap 38 will be when Christopher Bell will pit, unless the crew chief says otherwise this lap, but if he doesn't say anything, we'll pit at lap 38. Not going to push it too far, but I know we probably can't go any further than lap 40, so already pushing it quite a bit. He'll lead him a lot of laps, though, because of it. He hasn't really led a lot of laps this season. That win at Sonoma a couple races ago, he only led 2 laps. Talladega is where most of the laps he led this season, leading over 160 of the 188 in that race. Led every lap from 23 on.
Bring me when you're ready. We should be low on fuel.
Okay, so yeah, we're going to pit this time. Crew chief is saying something into turn 3, so Christopher Bell will pit this time by lap 37. Not going to risk anything here. Sure on these old tires that he doesn't lock them up too bad coming into the pits. 50 miles an hour is the pit road speed limit. Easily gets down in time. Oh, what's up with the game? Oh, don't hit anything. All right, there we go. That's one way to get into the box. Oh my goodness, I was scared we were going to hit something and damage the car, because that actually registers in this game when it does that. We did not hit anything. The game took control though at the pit road entrance time. Bell will sacrifice the lead, but the rest of the field will be pitting sometime soon. Kyle Busch is in the pits. He may be out of the race. There's a couple other cars in the pit road. Looks like at least one more. Another yellow car. Joey Logano in the pits. This could be scheduled stops. Logano was in second place. I believe Kyle Busch is a little bit further up in the running order as well. Christopher Bell coming out of the pit lane. Have quite a bit fresher tires than everybody else on the racetrack right now as he gets up to speed off the exit of turn 1. He drunk driving. It was not me. It was the game. When you hit the commitment line, really in any NASCAR console game, it's like the game takes over and gets into your pit box for you. But yeah, I don't know what was going on there. I did everything perfectly fine. I didn't. Whoa, sliding the tires. Kyle Larson coming in hot. The outside. No rearview mirror. That took me by surprise. We got some cars pitting. Oh no! Contact. And around goes Josh Balicki in the 52. He's coming back up on the racetrack, and he's going to collect another car. Multiple cars spinning on the entrance to pit road as Malicki came into the pits and checked up right in front of Christopher Bell. I think Bell's all right. I don't believe he's got a tire down. One car in the grass in turn 1. That's Cody Ware. So he tries to get up to speed. Hopefully it's not heavy damage on the 20. Everything looks all right. It handled fine in turn 1. Very, very lucky that Bell did not hit him any harder. It's just enough to spin the 52 around, but he tried to lock the brakes up and get the car to slow down. Just couldn't do it in time. Oh my goodness. Problems with me. Yeah, we're expecting another checkup if we got more cars pitting. 96 of Ty Dillon. Man, he almost went into the grass there before he went to pit. Here's Logano and Busch. This could be a battle for position. It could be a battle for position between Logano, Busch, and Bell. Lap traffic, Larson as well, by the way. This could be the leaders. Oh my goodness, Logano just about sideswiped the 36 car and David Reagan on his way by. Bell to the inside of the 53, and now the inside of the 36. Kyle Busch, still caught in line. 51 of Cody Ware has entered that group. So yes, Larson and Logano battling for what is likely the eventual race lead. Logano to the inside of Larson in the tunnel turn in turn 2. So that's how much time Bell lost by only making one stop, everybody else making a second. So tires do matter. It's going to be interesting to see what the strategy will look like. Bell's got a fast car. We don't know how fast he is on regular speed compared to the rest of the leaders. Busch going to try to get a draft off Bell's present. Bell going to go down and try to break that draft, and the 18 is going to be coming in hot in turn 1. Why did the crew chief say 5 to go? Oh, positions. I didn't realize the positions were changing. So yes, all the leaders, or all the cars on the lead lap have now pit. As of that time, by Joey Logano and Kyle Larson again battling for the lead. Bell has cycled to third as he battles his teammate Kyle Busch for that third spot on the racetrack. Alex Bowman rounding out the top 5. Still side by side between Larson and Logano. So hard to pass though at Pocono. Busch is going to have a hard time trying to get around the 20 car. That's why Larson's having a hard time trying to get around the 22, especially with the package. Bell backed up turn 3 beautifully that time. Thanks for that comment, John. Yeah, Larson and Logano are slowing each other down. They have been side by side for almost 2 laps, and they nearly made contact in turn 1. Bell about overdrove the corner. And excitement of those two almost getting together up there. It's going to allow Busch to beat Bell back to the gas. Bell trying to break the draft. They'll pull up in front of the 18 car now, trying to block him before they get into turn 2. With the 5 and 22 side drafting each other all the way around the racetrack, the 20 and the 18 are closing fast. Bell powers through turn 2 down to the apron. A lot of grip there. We're about to have an intense battle for the lead. It's about to be a 4-car battle as Logano and Larson are still there. Bell not going to give anybody any sort of drafting help. He's going to try to break the draft from the 18 of Busch behind him. He actually pulled Busch quite a bit off the exit of turn 3. Bell is coming in hot pursuit. Larson still going for the lead into turn 1. Will he clear? He slides up the racetrack. And as they side draft each other again, here comes Christopher Bell. Actually handled well in the dirty air, and they're 3 wide for the race lead at Pocono. They're side drafting up on the high side. Bell went clear to the bottom. Christopher Bell to the lead and clears them before they even get into turn 2. Power move, and they're still side by side, and now Busch is caught up to him. And Kyle will draft with Logano. We'll see if Logano can pull clear the 18. And now we get to see how fast of a car Bell's going to have. And we'll see if those guys can maybe draft together and pull closer to the 20. He's going to pull down low. He's going to break any sort of draft he might get off the exit of 3. Bell has not won on a non-super speedway as far as the ovals so far this season. And a fun fact, we have not won on a track less than 2.5 miles in length. Considering Sonoma, Talladega, and the Indianapolis road course are all that length, Pocono is another 2.5 mile track. So maybe that's playing into the good news here for Christopher Bell. The bad news is outside of 2 more trips to the Super Speedway in the regular season, and a couple more road courses left, I guess, in the regular season, it's all ovals of 1.5 miles and less for Bell going forward. So he's going to have to find some speed on tracks that are smaller than 2.5 miles in length, speed and handling if he's going to want to make it back through this season. Kyle Busch is up to 2nd place. He has passed Larson and Logano. So now Joe Gibbs Racing runs 1-2. Right? Never mind, he has not cleared the 22. The 5 and the 22 are on the outside, trapped to one another. Busch is being hung out to dry, and he's back to 4th, but he's trying to battle on the bottom. And all that battling going on back there not only led Bell to get to the lead, but it's allowing him to pull away. Next race of this custom schedule season will be at Kansas. It'll be the very first 1.5 mile track for the custom schedule season on this game, so we get a test of how the 550 package will handle in this game on a track that's not Pocono. I got a pretty good idea. I have ran Homestead in Vegas on the career mode so far. And speaking of the career mode, planning on a premiere tomorrow night on the channel. No live stream, but a premiere at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Daytona Road Course Career Mode episode will be up on the channel. I'll try to be in the chat as much as I can. I plan for tomorrow night to be the first premiere of the career mode, going to the Toledo and Bowling Green MAC football game tomorrow night. My sister goes to the University of Toledo. We live like 25 minutes from Bowling Green, so I'm going to the game with her tomorrow night after I get off work. So that's why this race was at 6. I wanted to do 7:30 with it being a shorter race, but I need to make sure everything's edited and ready to go because I'm not going to be home very long tomorrow. But I'm off Thursday, so I don't care how late I'm up at the game. I was pulled ahead to about a 2.5 second lead. These guys paddling each other is still allowing Bell to pull away right now. Still got 2 more scheduled pit stops to the end of the race. He pit at lap 37. The next scheduled stop will be right around lap 73 to 74. And the rest of the field will probably pit here in about 13 or less laps. Our leaders actually pitted about lap 37 last time. Actually, we saw Logano and Kyle Busch on pit road a lap before Bell even. Kevin Harvick has joined the fray all of a sudden. He's up to 3rd. He wasn't even in the top 5 after the pit cycling went along. I wonder if he stayed out quite a bit longer, that maybe he's got a lot fresher tires. Look out for Kevin Harvick. Still no sign of Austin Dillon in the top 5 at least so far. Again, he won last night's race. And man, Chase Elliott's been off the pace. He started at the back of the field. He's 35th right now. He had 3 straight top 3 finishes before last night's race at Pocono. He had a rough finish there, and then not off to a great day here today. Pocono, not a good track for him typically. Look at that. They got pack racing going on from about 2nd through 6th back there. Kind of similar to how it was at the very start of the race. And Harvick, he is looking very, very fast. We'll have to keep an eye on the interval if he can run down the 20 and Bell. Gonna have to pull away from the rest of the pack behind him. Bell's gonna catch some lap traffic now. James Davidson in 37 will be the very first driver. Looks like Davidson's got some...
Clear.
It looks like they got damage. Like it's so weird. This game, another bug with this game, you pass a car and it looks like they have damage, and then when you actually like look back, they don't have damage. So it's really strange. That's probably one of the least big issues with this game that they have to get fixed. They got a lot of other stuff that's way ahead on the list of things to fix with this game than that. Well, everything is fairly calm right now. We're going to alternate through the different camera angles for the first time in this race today. Lap 50 already this time by. 91 laps to go at the tricky triangle.
Stay left.
Gonna blow by Josh Malicki in the 52. Remember, Malicki had spun, so he lost some track position coming into the pits. I didn't get to see who he clipped, and I wonder if he clipped James Davidson, his teammate, of all drivers, after he went for a spin there off the front bumper of the 20 of Bell. Luckily, he didn't have too much damage. That's where he blew a tire off the back of the 24 car of William Byron last night, if you remember, and that's what caused all of the glitches and the issues following that. So I'm just really, really hoping that he steers clear. He's just going to have to know right around those 15 to 20 lap markers to maybe stay a little wide in turn 3 so he can keep that from happening. Really hard, though, in a big pack because even the cars on the outside tend to check up. Again, we'll see how that'll go as we continue on. If Bell is to go to victory lane today at Pocono, it would be his 4th win of the year, and it would be a 2nd with Rheem as a sponsor on the race car. He's got 2 wins with DeWalt, 1 win with Rheem right now. And an even amount of races with both sponsors at the end of this race as well, 6 and 6. Trying to claw himself back inside the top 10 of the regular season point standings. He was 8th going into last night. Ended up falling back to 13th with a 39th place DNF finish. Only scoring 1 point on the race. So a win would be huge as far as that goes. Still got over half the regular season left. Man, he got really tight. Got back in the gas way too soon off turn 3, and he was actually on the brakes to keep it off the wall that time around. There you see a little bit of damage on the left front from Josh Malicki again at the very start of this run when he had pit. There's just a little bit of a bubble there. Not going to look to repair the damage. The handling of the car was not affected at all, even on an aero-sensitive track like Pocono. Don't do any online races. Yeah, that's the only reason I've held off so far of the stuff I've seen with the online play. I know a lot of you guys want me to do it or may want me to do it, but I don't want... we've had crapshoot streams offline as it is, and online is even worse. We will do them eventually, and a lot more regularly than what we did with Heat 5, hopefully. Obviously, it's just up to how the game is going to react. See how aggressive Chase Elliott might be here. Christopher Bell pulls in. Really hard to turn on corner entry that time in that dirty air, running the same line as Elliott. And just pushing tight all the way through the corner. Still got through there pretty well. What a run in the draft. Elliott is so far off the pace. He doesn't have damage to his car. It's just extraordinarily slow. He wasn't this slow last night. He finished outside the top 20, but maybe they can get some pit strategy going in the right direction to get some cars to wreck out in front of him. Of course, he had a couple DNFs that would have happened in front of him yesterday. Outside of that, the 2-car spin, we haven't really seen a crash today. We saw a few of them yesterday. That was just in the first 50 laps of the race. We're already over 50 laps into this one so far. I could do Heat online. The problem is I'd have to re-download the game. I do still have the disc, but it'd probably take a couple hours. I'd have to download it on a day off. So if we can't get an online lobby going within the next couple of weeks with NASCAR 21 Ignition, then I will definitely end up doing that. Ooh, man, no. Get the car to turn there. He wasn't even in dirty air, really. Those cars in front of him are not close enough to him. So it looks like he's got about an 8-second lead. Kyle Busch back to 2nd. Kyle Larson back to 3rd. These guys are going to be pitting very, very soon. And Bell's definitely getting tighter. Guess we're about halfway through the run so far. 4 cars jockeying for position. These were the cars that Bell was racing around before he made his last stop. Oh, and that pit window is very close. Got 5 cars up here total. It'll be 6 when Bell catches the back of this pack, back of this group of cars. Gonna check up a little bit off 3 in case any of them are gonna hit. Maybe not. So much faster than them too. They still able to get a pretty good run off the exit of the corner.
Got one right. Got one right. All clear. Stay left.
Going by him for right now.
Clear, 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 clear.
He has to get around the 96. Ty Dillon moving up out of the way for Bell.
Clear, clear.
Clear off the exit of turn 1. Very easy work done there by Christopher Bell. This has got to be the cleanest oval race I have ran so far in this game. Like career mode that you guys haven't seen yet, and even not in the career mode. This is just insane. We have made very, very little contact with another car on 2 occasions, and that's it. Both times could have been catastrophic, but we got lucky that it wasn't. And we haven't hit the wall yet. We're 56 laps in at Pocono, and I know it's a 550 package, so there's more downforce, but not as much horsepower, but that's impressive, even with this game. One car coming out of the pit lane just up ahead. Not sure who that is. Looks like it might be Kevin Harvick. Wow, Bell entered way too flat in turn 1 there. It's Kyle Larson. Larson. This car coming out of the pits. So he's just going to pull away from the 20 on those fresher tires right now. Bell again going to stay out of the pits. He won't have to pit again until about lap 73 roughly. Cautions aren't on. I mean, a yellow can definitely change everything as far as the strategy in this race, but it runs green to the end, which we have had 3 caution-free races so far. And remember, in those races, Bell won. He does not win a race where there has been at least a caution. Not only that, every race we have had at least 1 caution. He has not won. Logano coming out of the pit lane now as well. The only thing I can think of where this game could, I guess, theoretically screw me over is the entry to pit road like it did the last time where it was fishtailing me. But it didn't hit anything, and that's when the AI takes over. Like, I have no control at that point. The only thing I can maybe do is try to keep it in 4th gear. It's going to be harder to slow the car up, so I'm going to have to start braking a little earlier off the exit of turn 3. That's about the only thing I can do. Logano's blowing around Kyle Larson. He pitted a lap after him, so the tires shouldn't matter that much more. But that was repaved in the early to mid-2010s. Though with being in the Midwest, it's been through some harsh winters. A track like this would wear a lot more in not as many years compared to tracks down south like in Atlanta or even on the west like in Vegas. Why those surface? That's why Atlanta surface held up as long as it did. Didn't have to go through as much erosion in the winter times. Stay kind of the same way. Really tight all the way through turn 1. He could not get the car to turn on corner entry and even to the exit. One thing I noticed at Homestead in Vegas in the career mode that I pre-played already is that on the long runs at the 550 ovals, it seems like the car just kind of gets tight. It doesn't get loose too much. It did get a little bit loose towards the end of the first run, but it is also 89 degrees for this race. Clear skies, so it's a very, very hot, slick racetrack here today. It's a good thing we got this extra downforce, less horsepower, make it a little bit easier on the drivers. Anybody else here in the back? Oh, we got a couple cars coming in on the high side. That would be Busher and Stenhouse. Bell's just going to brake early into turn 2 and let those guys go on by. Very, very patient. Yeah, there's like a... It might be like the exhaust. I really don't know what that is. You hear it a lot on the road courses in this game. It's like anytime I get out of the throttle, you can hear like a rattling or something going on. It's like that on every track. Go back to the far chase cam for now. Lap 62. Car coming out of the pits up ahead. I don't know why every car is in the grass. Probably how Bowman spun coming out of the pits yesterday. It was probably in the grass in turn 1. It's a crazy thing. We missed 2 wrecks yesterday just for the game to be all wonky on us. For the first pit stop. We literally did all we could. Today we haven't had to miss any wrecks. Logan just came out of the pits up ahead. Now he's up to speed. See if he can pull Bell. Bell has a Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota engine versus the front row engine in front of him. Pressure tires is going to be a big difference here. That's why we're seeing Larson and Dono and a couple other guys pull away. Kurt Busch is coming in from behind. He's going to get a good draft off of Christopher Bell down the Long Pond straightaway. Bell's still about 10 to 11 laps away from making his second of 3 pit stops scheduled for today's race. Bell going to stay to the high side intentionally into 1. He'll let Kurt Busch roll to the bottom. So 7 cars on the lead lap right now. Bell has not made his second stop yet. Everybody else has made 3 stops so far. In the AI pit, really on about a half a tank on the ovals in this game. I mean, if you can just keep it clean, the ovals can be a lot easier in this game. So hard. And then, I mean, it's hard too, especially in the 750 tracks, because you can't space out like you can at this long track like Pocono. It's probably why I've had better success on older tires on the 2.5 mile plus tracks with this pitting sequence, because we don't have to worry about getting ran over from behind. We have plenty of time to try to get out of the way, and then a lot of clean air and clean room behind. You kind of see right now around Bell. Almost halfway home now. Drop below 50 or something. Yeah, I think it is at the end of the week. I know tomorrow night when I go to the game, it's supposed to drop to a low of like 49. As of last night, at least. I mean, it might have changed now, but I know during the day tomorrow it's supposed to be like 58. It's pretty nice. It was in like the low 60s earlier. It was like almost 70 degrees yesterday. For the second week in November, that's amazing this time of the year here. Get those kinds of days too often. Probably the last of them till the spring, honestly. Wouldn't be surprised. Cars start to close in on this 20 of Bell, Harvick, Elliott closing back in on fresher tires. Blaney a few seconds behind them yet. Oh man, Bell really tight up the track.
Clear.
Oh, it made it easy for Harvick and Elliott to get by, I guess. On the brakes off the extra turn 1. Good thing it wasn't like closer to the straightaway, or he probably would have gotten clipped in the left rear tire. Give enough time Harvick and Elliott to just gas her up and get by Bell with ease. throttle. Yeah, Ross Chastain's up to 10th. Again, he started in the last row with Christopher Bell in that 39th position. I noticed he was getting through the pack just as quick as we were. Same with DiBenedetto. He wasn't quite as far back in the starting order as the 20 and the 42. I think he was actually in the top 10 at the start of the race, and it kind of fell out, but he's working his way back into contention as well, at least with trying to get a top 10 run. Benedetto, Chastain looking good on points so far, with 8 different winners in the first 11 races of the season. They only have 8 more spots left open for the playoffs, so we still got over half the regular season left even after tonight's race. We are pacing to not really have that many spots left available. Pretty good exit there off turn 3, fairly low as well, and he'll keep it low down the Long Pond straightaway. He's going to let those train of cars draft up on the high side. Blaney gets by with ease. Chastain's going to get by. Looks like Suarez will get by as well. Bell will pull up in front of the 21. There was a bit of a gap there. Now he'll go wide into 1. Didn't want to go that wide. He got extra tight behind the 99 of Suarez. But he was planning on letting 21 go. How about that run for Noah Gregson in the 62 for the Beard family, making a one-off start, running part-time on this custom schedule season, but he is 13th right now. Better than Denny Hamlin, who is a 5 or 6-time winner at Pocono. That's pretty good for the rookie. Tyler Burbeck, welcome to the stream. Still caution free, almost halfway. Oh man, they're fanning out 3 wide into turn 1 up there for position. Oh man, they may have made contact. It was tough to tell. It's like Chastain, who was in the middle, gotten out of the gas. Here comes Hamlin. He just picked the 62.
Clear.
It's going to help one Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota out with another leading the way. They're going to get out of gas here down the straightaway and let Truex and Gregson in up high to get their way through. Wallace now coming up next. He's got a car behind him of James Davidson. Definitely feels a lot tighter in this run than the first run, but that bad. And obviously he's on pretty old tires at this point in the run as well. They'll get a pull out of lane. Wallace in 16th to get on by. James Davidson as well, drafting up there right now.
Car right.
Well, still going to be on the inside into turn 1. Be able to drive it in so much deeper than Bell, though. Tyler, thanks for the $1 super chat. Smooth drive at Pocono. If you missed the first 15 to 20 laps of the race, I highly recommend at the end of the stream going back to watch it, because that was super intense. Like, I was almost working up a sweat just sitting here. And it's not even hot outside. It's crazy racing in the early going. See if it'll get like that here towards the end at all. Eric Jones closing in from behind. Bell's just going to let him go.
All clear.
He got the car to turn in the center of the corner. He backed the corner up so much. Behind the 43, maybe save a little bit of gas. Jones pulling out of line, maybe to break the draft a little bit there. Goes to the high side. That's going to allow Bell down low to actually not have dirty air in front of him. The 17th last car on the lead of the lap. Interesting to see. Bell cycled out of the pits in 3rd. The last time the leaders all pitted right around the same time. We'll see what will happen here in about 3 to 4 laps when Bell hits. Ryan Newman or Matt Benedetto get it right next year. So Rick Warrior Racing has already offered those 2 contracts. I feel like if you had to pick one of the 2 to take that ride, I would lean on Benedetto taking that ride. So I feel like Newman would have taken it already because there's not really any better options in the Cup Series for either one of them. I think Benedetto might be holding off to see maybe what Xfinity rides would happen. Newman being a long-time veteran of the Cup Series, he had a successful career in the Cup Series. He's not going to want to drop down to the Xfinity Series. Jones did not get off turn 3 well at all. Bell's going to blow past him.
Clear, clear.
When they get into the first turn. Big draft, of course, for the 20 as well. A little crossover by the 43 now.
Still there. Still there. Still there. Still there.
I don't think Rick Warrior Racing would be competitive with those 2. I think they'd be better. You know, maybe a top 20 team, but they're not going to be going out there racing for wins. I mean, look at Newman's not the same driver after his wreck at the Daytona 500. I mean, you could just look at the stats to back it up. He's only had, 6 top 10 finishes in the last 2 years combined. After making the playoffs in 2019, it's just a huge, huge decline in performance. It's definitely sad to see, but sad to say, but that's the case. Benedetto, may have, his most competitive years yet ahead of him. So I think that would be the better option too. That's way out of the gas. Back to being tight, line behind the 43. Pull down to the bottom lane, trying to break the draft. The car is still trying to close in from behind and pull back up in line so he can make his corner into turn 2. When we get back around to the Long Pond straightaway, he'll let these guys go. Bell looking to likely stay out of the pits one more lap. He'll pit next lap at lap 74. That will be his 37 lap run. Those drivers now trained into the outside. Bell down to the bottom. Man, Michael McDowell pulled out of line. I don't know if he was going to try to make a pass on the 52. Got held up. Still got into the corner really well. Maybe he had to back it up just enough with Bell right there. Bell will file in line right behind him. Christopher Bell will pit this lap. Lap 74. Not going to risk it any longer. It's 37 laps, just like the last run. McDowell pulls out of line now. Bell is going to stay in the draft.
One left.
Started on the high side. Just going to back out of it. He's not going to stay up there. He's going to want to pit this time by. Now you just got to hope he doesn't get ran over by Briscoe and Byron from behind here. They are side by side. They'll hold each other up a little bit. Bell going to really back turn 3 up quite a bit. He doesn't want to get tight. Low exit to the corner. And here we go. So Christopher Bell into the pit lane. Going to lock up that right front tire just a little bit. And here it is. 50 miles an hour is the pit road speed. Oh, no. Oh, well, there goes the game. The game has just wrecked us into the pits. Oh, this is costing us plenty of time here. Come on. Get in the box. Get in the box. Get in the box. Well, damage to the left rear for Christopher Bell. His second pit stop of the day as we're just past halfway. He's led the most laps so far. And the game is taking control again. I really hope that left rear damage is not going to affect the 20 car too much. But obviously this track has a lot of aero dependency, especially with this package. Mayor of Ponce, welcome to the stream as well. Saw you down there below. I didn't shout you out yet. Well, 20 car trying to get up to speed.
straight left. All
Pressure
clear.
tires for Bell. He's going to work his way on by these guys. But again, hopefully the handling of the race car is not going to change at all for the 20 of Bell after the game had wrecked him in the pits. He's up to speed getting into turn 2. Making a quick pass on Corey LaJoie, still on older tires. Lap 75 right now. Bell scored an 18th, but a lot of cars still have to pit yet. Keeping an eye on Byron in case Byron pits this time, and he does. So good thing Bell checked up off the exit of the race, stayed high. A lot of the leaders in the pits. That costed Bell a lot of time on top of the fact he's got damage now as well. Just saw Joey Logano exit the pit lane, so Bell's going to be quite a ways ahead of him. Really hope that damage does not slow him down. Still one more pit stop to go. It just slows the pit time up so much doing that. Keeping it in 4th gear actually may have made it worse. Oh man, Bell overdrove turn 2. They're slick. We still have not hit the wall yet today. I'm not going to count the AI hitting the pit wall right there. It's me hitting the wall. Bell checks up on 3, making sure 3 cars ahead of him were not going to make a late dive into the pits. They'll draft behind him and try to get that straightaway speed back up now. Got pressure tires as well, so will also play into effect. McDowell going to pull out a line, trying to make a pass on Eric Jones in the 43. Bell to the bottom of the racetrack. And they're going to be 3 wide off the exit of turn 1 right now. Bell's got pressure tires, going to stay away to try not to get side drafted. And 14, though, up on the high side may help the 43 in the draft. Maybe not enough. Not enough to overcome the fresh tire advantage there, so Bell will clear into turn 2. Yeah, that would definitely help if the spotter was more... I mean, the spotter is very he talks a lot in this game, let's just say, and he just doesn't talk when he needs to. It's pretty much the case. He talks way too much when he doesn't need to, and he doesn't talk at all when he needs to. Still got the top 2 cars to pit, Bubba Wallace being one of them. Scored in 2nd. Eric Jones even behind him. Still there. Kyle Busch about 3 seconds off the lead in 5th. Maybe one of the leaders have already pit. I know Harvick looked fast on the first set of stops, but I'm assuming the top 2 still have to pit. We know Bubba Wallace for a fact has to pit yet. And then Eric Jones at 4th has to pit. Well, just passed him the last time. Got a decent ways to go. Cars coming out of the pits. Bell checks up just a hair.
P2 right there. Keep
Lead that lap at the line. There it is. Don't know who was the last car to pit ahead of Bubba Wallace, but it's official. Christopher Bell's back in the lead. I guess it'll be official. He did not lead that lap that time, so it'll be an official lead change this time by. Joe Gibbs Racing running 1-2, cycling out of the pits right now with Bell in the lead. Kyle Busch in 2nd. Alex Bowman cycles to 3rd, just ahead of Joey Logano right now. Bowman will be the highest running driver of those who have not won yet this year. Again, Logano has led laps as well as Larson in this race. Those two also winless so far this season. Really, Hendrick Chevy to win so far is Chase Elliott at Martinsville. 4 races ago. Gonna have about 61 laps to go this time by. Again, one more scheduled pit stop for Bell to the end. Took 37 laps on this run once again, which would mean that he'll have to pit down the grass up here. I'm watching, just make sure he doesn't spin out. That'd be BJ McLeod in the 78 car. Trying to get up to speed here. He just pulled up right in front of Christopher Bell.
Clear.
Desperation move to stay on the lead lap there. Not entirely sure. But first car 1 lap down. little bit fresher tires, so he may actually close back in. He's got about a 5.5 second lead over Busch. Really wide entry into turn 3 that time. He got it all the way down to the curbing. The great corner. To go. Can you imagine Riley Herbst taking over for Cole Custer? Just a random move in the offseason. Let go of Custer for performance and throw Herbst in there to get the money. But let's be honest, I don't think Herbst can do any worse than Custer did this season. Custer finished, what, 28th in points? That is not good for Strasbourg. Even Almirola, like, I know he only won one race, but, I mean, really the second half of the regular season, I think he got up to, like, 21st or 22nd on regular points. And obviously, with him making the playoffs, I think he ended up finishing 15th at the end of the year. 15th, I believe, was his points finish. So it ended up working out better for him. Even Briscoe picked it up there the last, like, dozen races, pretty much from, like, the Indy Road Course to the end of the season. Last 13 races of the year, I think he got up to, like, 21st, 22nd. I think he was, like, 22nd in points. Maybe 24th. I think Bubba Wallace finished 21st, if I'm not mistaken. Daniel Suarez really dropped off. I remember he was, like, 18th, 19th, 20th in points for most of the year. And then when the playoffs started, like, he fell from grace. I think he finished like 25th in points. I was looking at it going into Phoenix at least. I was shocked he was that far down. Because I remember at the start of the playoffs, he was inside the top 20. But I guess when you had like guys like Wallace win behind him and Briscoe was starting to pick up the pace there a little bit. Even Eric Jones had, what, like 3 top 10s in the last 10 races of the year, so he was even starting to pick it up. I don't think he caught up to him. And I definitely heard Suarez, that team would not exist in the final 10 races of the season. The handling of the car is still there for the short run. We'll have to see if it will be there for the long run. Car's almost made contact in turn 3. Bell got back in gas way too soon. Bell not going to choose to short pit this final run at all, just in case we somehow blow a tire. So if we short pit and then something crazy happens like that, we'll have to pit again. Gotta stretch this run out for that reason. Looking to pit about lap 111. It'll be another 37 lap run, so lap 111 be the next pit stop, just less than 30 laps from now. That would make it about a 28 to 29 lap run to the end of the race. So definitely would be able to make it on fuel one more stop.
3 wide, you got 2 up top.
All the way down to the bottom, 3 wide. One pond straightaway, lapping some more cars. Who we were just talking about his real life performance. Hasn't been that great so far this season as well. He's outside the top 20 of points in this. I will say the point standings outside of Cody Ware sporadically winning. I know Reddick didn't actually win in real life as well as Austin Dillon, but they were at least top dozen, in points. The regular season points are pretty accurate with that. They just have, wins to lock them into the playoffs. But honestly, the point standings themselves are pretty accurate. And is somewhat consistent to Heat 5 in the sense that Joe Gibbs Racing, remember in our second and final season of the Cup Series on the career mode, Joe Gibbs Racing dominated. We were not running for Joe Gibbs Racing at the time. We were for Toyota, and Toyota was dominant. And then you see that Bell's got 3 wins, Hamlin's got 2 wins, Kyle Busch, Truex each have a win. And Toyota's dominating in the early going of this season as well.
Car right. All clear.
I think Stewart-Haas Racing 4 definitely would have been better if Kyle Larson would have been with them, but you gotta say though how strong Chevy was as a whole, like not just Hendrick Motorsports. Larson may not have won the championship. I mean, look, you gotta look at the fact too that Larson, most of his wins came on 550 ovals, and that was where Stewart-Haas Racing was abysmal this year. They're really good on the 750 ovals and the road courses in Chase Briscoe's perspective. Even Harvick, he was good on the road courses that they had ran at, like Watkins Glen, Sonoma, and then even the Roval up until he basically detonated himself into the turn 1 wall. But up until then, he had a top 10 car.
Stay left. Clear all around.
3 wide entrance into 1.
Stay left.
A bit of a bobble.
Clear all around. Clear all around.
Behind the 8 car, will pull up to the outside behind Eric Jones. Draft his way by Reddick. Watch those guys pulled away from Reddick before Reddick hopped in line. Up to the inside of Jones into turn 2.
Clear, clear, clear.
And he'll complete the pass on Eric Jones. So just 20 cars on the lead lap on overall speed. Not sure what the interval is between first and second right now. We got too many lap cars in between them. And I'm going to say that the car is clean. Even though there's some obvious damage on the left rear. That was because of the game. My pit road entry after I hit the commitment line where the AI actually takes over the handling of your own race car. But anyway, to go back to like Chevy's dominance, obviously Hendrick Motorsports top team in the Cup Series for sure. They won the championship, they have the most wins. You know, 750, 550 didn't matter. Even road courses for that matter. They had, what, 5 wins on road courses between Elliott and Larson. It's crazy. And so on top of that, though, but you look at Richard Childress Racing, Reddick made the playoffs on points. Austin Dillon, if it wasn't for McDowell, Almirola, heck, I mean, if one of those guys, if McDowell, Almirola, Bell, or Bowman didn't win a race this year, if any one of those guys did not win a race, at least in the regular season, then Dillon would have been in the playoffs on points with him being the first guy outside the playoffs. Because he was actually, I believe, 12th, and he was ahead of all 4 of those guys. Bowman was that bad on consistency this year. And he was like 14th, 15th in points in the regular season when the playoffs started, even with 3 wins in the regular season. And obviously with those wins, he had a lot of playoff points that helped him get to the round of 12 because he did not have a good round of 16. Struggled in the round of 12 as well, and really struggled in the round of 8 outside of Martinsville. They got the win. That team was not consistent at all this year. But when they had the speed, obviously they could show that they could go out and win races. His points format definitely helped him out. I think he finished outside the top 10 in points. Even though he made it to the round of 12. Well, I mean, Kissel... Well, no, not him. Harvick. That's who I was going to say. Harvick got eliminated in the round of 12, but he was so consistent in the final 10 races of the year, he still finished 5th in points. Even not making it to the round of 8, he beat Busch, Bling, Keselowski, Logano, all those guys that made it around further than him in the playoffs, just how good he was even those last 4 races. I mean, even look at Phoenix. Yeah, the 750 tracks were really good for Stewart-Haas Racing. Obviously, with the new car coming next year, we have no clue who's going to be good on what types of tracks. It's like we're going to have varying packages that are somewhat similar, but the cars are different, so it's going to be different. And those intermediates again. Oh, you DNF'd at Chicagoland? That's unfortunate. 171, yeah, that's nothing. If you're going to DNF in a race, you would wish it's towards the beginning and not past halfway. been kind of the luck. I think there's only been 2 races we made it past halfway and DNF in this game. It seems like when we DNF it's super early in the race. So we got 50 laps to go. We are past halfway at this point. 90 laps complete. Nothing is easy in this game, so he's just gonna have to continue to stay focused. Continue to be smart when he's gonna have older tires when the rest of the field pits here very shortly for their 5th stop of the race. All made only 2 so far compared to the rest of the field that's made 4 up to this point. Expected a pit strategy type of race even without the AI having the fuel difficulties on the ovals. You know, this is a triangle, still considered an oval.
Car right. Clear,
Grab that time. Austin Dillon in 20th. He dominated this race yesterday, led a lot of laps. It looked like he had some speed early on, but maybe the pit crew was taking a big step back. And obviously, as the field has gotten spaced out going through multiple green flag pit stops, that has not helped him either. Doesn't really have a lot of drafting help, except for the 36 plate car of LaJoy, which he is way faster than, so that's not really going to help much. Down these straightaways. Well, honestly, like, if they were to get rid of anybody, I think Briscoe's got the brightest future. I know Custer won a race last season, but Briscoe had 9 wins in the Xfinity Series. Like, Custer had a good Xfinity Series career, but I don't even think he had as many wins as Briscoe did that one season. Now, granted, you could argue, too, that Briscoe won all those races after Reddick, Bell, and Custer left. That's very true, but Briscoe did what he had to do, and that was dominate the Xfinity Series, even though he didn't win the championship. I got him a ride, and, well, his rookie season, he outperformed Custer, who was in his 2nd year in the car. You can call it a sophomore slump all you want, but that still goes into effect that... Now, one thing I will cut the slack for Custer, there was limited practice and qualifying both years for him. Limited practice and qualifying for Briscoe as well, so fairly even there as far as the extra practice. But that extra year of advantage being to every track in the Cup Series, even though you don't have practice, they were at every track there last season. That was just really bad. And he had a lot of bad luck too, but that goes along with racing. That was definitely a forgetful year there for Custer. I think he's glad the offseason was a rise, but he's going to want a job with that team beyond next season. He's got to go out, and in my opinion, he may have to make the playoffs. I think he's got to make the playoffs. If he misses the playoffs for Stewart-Haas Racing Equipment 2 years in a row, even if we're that bad again, Almirola's made the playoffs every year with that team. Harvick's been super dominant with that team. And if Briscoe goes out there and wins the race next year, which I think he's capable of on the road courses, especially at Indy, then I think you got to get rid of Custer. Even if Riley Herbst is the next best option. And I hate to say that, but he's got the funding. You know, as a team owner, and I don't think he can do much worse than Custer did last season. If Custer struggles like that again next year, and Herbst actually shows improvement, maybe wins a couple races in the Xfinity Series next year, you got to do it. You got to do it. I don't even know if Herbst is in the 98 next year, to be completely honest. Just let me know down below in the chat if that will be the case or not. Some cars pitting. Thankfully, nobody was pitting there. They'll didn't check up much off the exit of turn 3. Kind of wish a fresh tires behind him was just like, oh, he's coming in hot. He wants to get back on the lead lap as quickly as he can. Logano cycling out of the pits as well. Just caught behind traffic go off the exit of turn 1. I saw a comment that was deleted, but I can still look at deleted comments. Just the random thing. Back on my Dirt Bristol stream, this guy, this troll, down in the comment section earlier this morning, put like, haha, you suck, haha, loser on there. Like I didn't know what I was doing on the track. Like I just suck at this. Like I just suck at NASCAR games. I thought that was kind of funny because like, you don't even know what this game is like. And even if he can handle well at Dirt Bristol, obviously he has never watched the channel. I do have talent. I was just struggling and went in with very little practice going into that race. If I would have had an hour to practice, I probably wouldn't have been making those mistakes I made that day. Mr. You Bastard, welcome to the stream. Welcome back. Long time no see. Thanks for tuning in tonight. I just gotta remember that randomly because Bell's gonna go a little wide here just in case Bubba Wallace gonna pit. He checked up. And Wallace gonna stay out. He gave Bubba plenty of room there. Still has not pit yet. Bell gonna get a good draft off him though. Backing up turn 3, he'll pull out of line, make the pass. Kyle Busch pulls it in from behind as well. Gonna have to get around Cody Ware, who's getting up to speed. Ware might be down on the apron enough. Wallace here pretty soon as well. He will catch 20 and get back on the lead lap here eventually. I'm sure Logano will as well. He's about a little over half a second behind Busch. Busch up behind Wallace though down the straightaway. Logano's supposed to be faster the draft now that he's close enough behind Busch. Daniel Suarez in second as well right now. He still has to pit. Wallace pit that time. Well, that's one way for Busch and Logano to get by. He did cycle ahead of Cody Ware before Ware got up to speed, so they didn't have to make an extra pass on him as well. One car coming out of the pits up ahead. It's Eric Jones in the 43 car. Try not to go 2 laps down. Lap 100 this time by. I think Custer was brought up too quick. I think he was in the Xfinity Series and the Double Zero for 2 years at least. He might have been in that car for 3 seasons, but not entirely sure. He may have been rushed, I think too. But at the same time, I don't know how much longer you could have kept him there and expected that much more improvement out of him. Once you're in the Xfinity Series for 3 years, I don't really know. I mean, yeah, you will get better over time, but the cars handle so much different, so I feel like 3 years for any driver, it's like, all right, bring him up the cup, see what he can do. And I mean, he won a race his rookie year. Wasn't consistent at all, but won a race his rookie year. I'm just going to go wide and let all those guys with fresh tires get underneath them. Took it 3 wide. Logano and Kyle Busch battling hard right now. They're back in the lead lap, so if we do get a yellow, it's going to be in great contention here. It's going to be the great equalizers if we get a caution late. I was going to plan on not pitting if we get a yellow. And then pit under the green, knowing that even if the AI pits, that they pit every 20 laps. We have more than, at least 25 to go at the very most. You can plan on them pitting. We hit 20 license. No, I can't do that tonight. We've made it too far into the race. I really want to make sure I get everything ready to go so the Daytona Road Course premiere can be on the channel tomorrow for the crew. Yeah, that will be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. But I gotta work tomorrow still. I'm not gonna be able to do it when I get home. I won't be home for less than an hour. Just long enough to make sure I, upload it to YouTube and it processes. It's gonna be good, but stayed on the quiz is too long last night. I didn't doing it all yesterday. Kind of went to bed not long after the stream. And Bell checked up quite a bit that time. Here comes 48 at Bowman. Bell going to pull to the inside down the Long Pond straightaway. 39 laps to go, almost inside the pit window for Bell. 37 laps, doesn't plan on short pitting at least. Pull in line behind the 48 car into turn 1. Probably should have just stayed low because the car got really tight there. Not as bad in the center of the corner, but definitely on entry it was. This is definitely the best oval race experience so far, by far, that I've had on this game. Which is crazy considering all the glitches we had with the same track last night. I wonder if the glitches are only specifically for the Pocono Organics 325 race, and not this 350 mile race. That could be. I mean, knowing this game, that could be an issue. I'm curious next time we go to Talladega if everybody's going to DNF like they did the first time too, if we'll have that glitch. Assuming it was a glitch. I mean, we did see like almost every car wreck coming into the pits. We didn't get a single caution for it, so who knows. The only downside to this is they're not on the same strategy as us. If we were going to go off strategy anyway, again, Pocono races, especially with these race lengths, we're going to be a strategy race, but they're pitting way too soon that they're going to have to pit a couple extra times instead of just one extra time to really see what the strategy would play out on these older tires. I mean, unless we get a caution, which again is possible. Well, has not won a race with a caution so far this season. We got one more pit stop still to come. We're less than 10 laps away from it happening. And we know the car's probably going to spin out in the pit lane. The nose has been clean. Obviously the left rear caught some of that pit wall earlier. I'm just really hoping we don't get too much more damage. It really hasn't affected the car right now, but I feel like if we get nose damage, that's slow the car. And if we get a caution on top of that, it's not going to be fun. I guess if we were to get a caution, the best time would be pretty much right now until he pits. Yes, it would even the playing field, but at least we know he can make it on field to the end of the race pitting under the yellow. They're closing in. Second and a half back in that Busch Beer Ford. Again, Pocono, for whatever reason, in the video games, I've always liked racing at Pocono. It can be challenging, but it's a really cool, unique track. You know, it's not like going to a cookie-cutter mile and a half. I've always found it fun in the video games. I'd say NASCAR 21 Ignition, there's no glitches. Pretty fun. I mean, the first 20 laps last night were fun. We had the glitches, but so far tonight, yeah, best experience of the oval so far. Hopefully we can continue that going forward. I think Harvick's close enough to get a draft. Bell didn't break the draft. A little bit too far behind for Bell to just let him go. Oh man, he got really tight off the exit of turn 3. Now he'll break the draft and just pull low and let the 4-car of Harvick go. Kyle Larson was even closed in on Harvick here pretty quickly. On the inside of Harvick, got out of the gas really early there. He's going to let Harvick go. Larson to the outside as well. BJ McLeod with one of his 2 laps back. Half on the outside, going to get a lap back, and Half darted it in there. Starcom racing up in 23rd. They nearly got a top 10 yesterday at Pocono, finished 13th. DJ Aiden YG, welcome to the stream. How long till the game crashed? Tonight, it has not crashed once. Well, the game has not crashed. Still, the only glitch we've had tonight, which hasn't affected the handling of the car at all, but you can see the left rear damage from it, was we came into the pits, and you're about to see that glitch probably happen again, because we're 2 for 2. First time we didn't hit anything. Second time we spun an extra time. We ended up bashing the left rear, but it hasn't affected the handling. Obviously still in the lead, so that's good. But the car just wants to spin when the AI takes control when we come into the pit lane. We'll just have to hope for the best. No adjustments will be made on this third and final stop of the day with Christopher Bell. And even if we get a caution, I think Bell's got to stay out of the pits at the end of the race. Unless it's super late and you know everybody else is going to pit, I think you have to pit, but it's just so risky being back in traffic. We saw how intense that opening start of the race was. Here's Busher at 7th. Dave Busher had some great runs this year, especially on the 550 track, so that's really risky. I think Busher might have had a top 10 in one of the Pocono races this year, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody might have to fact check that. I thought he did pretty good in one of the races, if I remember correctly. I thought he finished like right around there, 6, 7, 8. We're 13th in regular season points. We have 3 wins though. Most of any drivers, so as of right now, we have the most playoff points. I guess out of technicality, Denny Hamlin would, because he's got 2 wins, which would be 5 less playoff points, but he is leading regular season points, which would be 15 additional playoff points. So we definitely would not be the number 1 seed, even though we have the most wins right now. We've got to get back into the top 10 in points and try to get some sort of consistency going here. It's like either win or bust. I mean, if we haven't won a race, we haven't finished in the top 10 in a race we haven't won yet. So that's just how difficult this game is. Right side is, we got 2 more super speedways left. They're only 50% races though, so that's going to be interesting to see how that goes. That was 1 win, and then 2 wins on the road course so far. If I remember correctly, we have 2 or 3 more road courses before the playoffs. So we got the Daytona road course, Charlotte Roval, we got the regular season. And I believe Watkins Glen in the regular season as well still remains. So definitely some opportunities at a win. It may be a while before we have our next winning opportunity. We got 4 or 5 more races till we go back to Daytona for our summer Daytona race that will only be 80 laps in length. I think Daytona's crazy as it is. Imagine only 80 laps and it comes here with the sense of urgency on in this winning you're in format for the playoffs. Getting tense. 20 likes on the stream right now. Thanks for everybody smashing that like button, destroying that like button tonight. What you guys are doing to that like button. Make sure you hit that and also subscribe for more daily NASCAR content if you have not already. Live commentary. See, when a race rolls smoothly in this game, I can do my realistic commentary. It's very, very good, especially in the intense moments of the race. It's been a perfect night so far. Again, knock on wood. We still got 30 laps to go. Knocking on my TV tray that I use for my desk. I have an actual desk, but this is like my makeshift desk for when I'm actually streaming, because my actual desk is, I can't really use that. It's facing the wall. It's not facing the TV. It's built into the wall, so it was like that before I moved here. A long time ago. Bell will pit this time by. He is now 37 laps into the run. That's how far he made it on fuel the first 2 runs of the race. Not going to want to risk it, especially being to the good. It'll be about a 29 lap run on fuel and tires to the checkered flag. But this will definitely be his final stop of the race. We've seen the rest of the field pit right around the same time he is right here. Should cycle back to the lead with this big lead. Everybody else should have to pit likely 2 more times. Well, Bell only has to pit just this once. It's because of how the field window is going for himself. But here he comes into the pit lane. 50 miles an hour is that pit road speed limit, and there's the game. Oh, man, that was a big hit. That was a big hit. Come on, car. Come on, game. Get me into the box. Get me into the box. This is just nuts. This is the worst yet. This is costing Bell a ton of time right now in the pits. Again, I'm not... Oh, man, this is not good. Crew is waiting for Christopher Bell. Finally in the pit box. I mean, we just destroyed the car right there. Well, we nosed it like 3 times into the wall. I think we got more back bumper damage as well. Not looking to repair anything. But that is going to cost Christopher Bell some time, to say the least, in the pits. And hopefully... Man, that car's destroyed. I really hope everything handles well. We got 29 to go. It's time to hang on for dear life. We got somebody else nosing his way into the pit lane. I think it's Cold Custer. Yeah, Cold Custer has also wrecked in his pit box. That was terrible. I really hope this car is going to handle fine. But we're in the home stretch. Bell going to just try to make it to the end. Oh, wow. We got a huge... we're checking up. We got a huge pack of cars coming in that Bell wants no part of. He's going to have fresh tires. He's going to catch the back of this pack, likely, unless his damage holds him up quite a bit. Yeah, that's the only game glitch we've had so far tonight. And I swear, if this is going to slow us down and we get a caution that costs us a good chance to win this race, that's going to be insane. I really hope this damage doesn't register. It didn't feel like it registered before. I'm hoping it doesn't register this time. A lot of these cars are going to end up hitting here sometime soon. This is just a gigantic pack of cars. Most of them are single file. It's going to help. Again, Bell on fresh tires is blowing around everybody. 3 wide. Now he's down to side-by-side into turn 1. Austin Dillon maybe pulling out a line on Alfredo, flipping the apron a little bit. No big handling error that time, and Bell's back up to 6th place. Just waiting on the rest of the leaders, excuse me, to hit the pits, and that will give Christopher Bell the lead. Handling's 5 for now. Hopefully it'll be good on the long run. Make a pass on Denny Hamlin into turn 3.
Clear, clear, clear.
Stays out of the pits another lap.
Good job. Go give me one more.
Couple of the leaders pit that time. Martin Truex Jr. is now scored as the race leader. That might have been the first lap he has led in this race today. Actually, I don't even think he led that lap before he got to the lead. I don't think he's going to lead this one, even if he stays out another lap after this, just because Bell's coming in pretty quickly on these fresher tires. Almost overdrove turn 2. Going to go wide, just in case Truex pits. Oh man, maybe a little too wide in turn 3. Almost put in the wall. Truex does pit, so not sure if he led a lap or not that time. Definitely the lead change this time by as Christopher Bell is back in the lead again at Pocono. 36 laps to go, or sorry, 26 laps to go. Car coming out of the pits down to the bottom of the racetrack. That'd be Tyler Reddick, and Reddick's in the grass. Mowing those left side tires in the grass. I think it wasn't real life, he would have destroyed that splitter. banking on the rest of the field having to pit again. It's going to be interesting if we did see a caution, if they would pit during the yellow or if they would pit, you know, under green. I don't know if they would pit under the caution. I know we're planning on staying out. We need this track position. Track position's going to matter. Even if we do have older tires, even if we don't win the race, staying out of the pits, it's better than wrecking back in traffic and not getting a good finish, considering that Bell has dominated this race. But we do have a few wins, so it's not like we're going to miss the playoffs. High enough in points now that we shouldn't finish outside the top 30. Barring a major catastrophic fall off in the second half of the regular season. 13th in points coming in. It's 3 wins. He's only made it to the end. 4 races. Richmond was the only race he made it to the end. Finished a few laps down. Even though he did not win. I believe we had, what, like a 25th place finish that day? He's coming out of the pit lane in line behind Bell as they get up to speed. We will alternate through the different camera angles one more time in today's race. We usually do it twice in these full races. Inside of a 2-car spin coming into the pits very, very early in the race, right around lap 40. We have not seen any accidents. Less than what we saw last night. Get pretty racy off the exit of turn 3 up here. Slow the lap car. Chase Elliott's worked his way up to 29. He's slowly trying to get his way through the field. Stenhouse on a little bit fresher tires, getting a good draft off of the 20 of Christopher Bell. Bell's just hoping everybody races about as clean as they possibly can right now, considering that he is the leader and he does not want to see a caution. On caution free so far. Stenhouse closing in behind in the draft. A lot of cars up ahead.
3 wide, 2 outside. Got 1 right.
Man, 3 wide into the corner.
Clear.
Bell got a little loose on the apron down there. Stenhouse caught behind the traffic. Should be clear up. Bell can arc his corner off into turn 3. And Hamlin caught in traffic back here. Oh, somebody pit. Somebody pit right in front of Hamlin. Hamlin almost got into the back of him. That was Quint Howe. Made his way into the pit lane. Bell's clear on Elliott right now. He moves up. Yep, he is clear. Bell stayed in the gas that time. He didn't check up. He was just hoping that Hamlin wasn't going to move up right in front of him. Hamlin let his teammate go on the high side. They're headed down the home stretch. Chase Elliott on a little bit fresher tires up to 25th. I don't know if he's pit or not yet, though. I would think he is because he's keeping pace with the leader. Although we do have damage that might be registered now, so that could be a difference maker as well. I feel like if the damage would... Oh, jeez, man, that's an ugly camera angle with the damage that the AI gave us during our green flag pit stops today, specifically the last one. We got 11 drivers on the lead lap. Ross Chastain, the last of which had the lead lap in the 42 car, just outside the top 10. He was in the top 10 a little bit earlier. Chase Elliott and that crew has finally made the right adjustments to the car. Maybe a little too late in the race. He's trying to get one of his 2 laps back. Denny Hamlin, Chase Briscoe closing in behind the 12th and 13th on the grid, battling for the free pass spot if we did get a yellow. Probably going to have to battle Ross Chastain for that free pass position as well. All checked up. He had a major run on the back of the 42 car there. Chastain blocking Christopher Bell as he tries to stay on the lead lap. Bell side drives that left rear corner panel now and side by side into turn 1.
Stay left, clear all around, car right.
Bell beats Chastain back to the gas.
Clear. Stay
Maybe a little too soon though. Chastain gonna try a crossover.
Alright, hold your line.
Down to the bottom.
All clear. One left.
Elliott gonna draft on the high side right now. Bell gonna side draft to 42.
Alright, keep it high.
Hamlin and Briscoe start to close in.
Clear all around. Stay right. Stay
Oh
right.
boy, I don't think Bell's been on the high side into a corner all day long until right there. Chastain clears him off the exit of the corner. Clear down low. Elliott, Hamlin, Briscoe all over the back bumper of the 20. That's as racy as it's been in quite some time for Christopher Bell's sake. Everybody on fairly equal tires.
Car
Seems
right.
to be faster than the 42 of Chastain at least, and he'll get back underneath
Clear
him
all
again.
around. Car right.
Side by side as they enter back into the front
Still
stretch.
there. Still there.
Well, this is a tough camera
Still
angle
there.
to see out of
Still
right now. The dash cam.
Still there.
Really trusting the
Clear all
spotter
around.
with this. Chastain's still up high.
Car right. All clear.
Can't really, I mean, we can look back. Definitely clear now. Briscoe's made a pass on Denny Hamlin for position. Hamlin looking low, and now will file back in line, single file. Chastain's got a big run in the draft, though, off the 20. No drafting help in front of Christopher Bell. Backing up the corner a little bit, and that stacks up Hamlin and Briscoe. They're side by side again. Hamlin going to try to use a slower lead lap car at Chastain, perhaps as a pick, to get himself up to 11. I like the pieces of rubber on the windshield. Fine detail. Running line behind cars. Rubber getting kicked up, especially over the long run, especially with the rubber not wearing off at all, even under the yellows, because we haven't had a caution. And caution free. It would probably do that more so on the concrete tracks like Bristol, Dover, even Martinsville in the corners. Raced at Martinsville, but we didn't really get to alternate through the camera angles because we wrecked 40 laps in. A few more laps and we will have survived the... Oh man, I thought that last angle was hard to see. This first person view is even harder. I think we're by ourselves now and pulled away. Chastain's still holding up. Hamlin and Briscoe, and now even Tyler Reddick has caught up to that pack, and he has gotten around Briscoe and Hamlin himself. Eric Almirola is the next car up ahead in 24th, so he's already one lap down. So second lap down whenever Christopher Bell catches up. And Bell has not hit the wall all day long. You might be wondering if you're just tuning in for the first time, well, how did he get that damage then? Well, that was actually when the AI took over and we nosed the wall 3 times in the pit lane. In the 3 stops that we had made, and rear the car a couple times as well. So that's why the car looks beat up. The damage doesn't seem to actually be registering, which is nice. Got a big run in the draft that time on the 10 of Almirola. Well, flies by.
Clear,
Keeps the
clear.
10 back to the gas. The 10 tried to carry in a lot more speed on corner entry there. Hamlin finally has gotten around Chastain for 11th. We'll see if he can pull away. Drafting help might keep those guys congested together yet. We'll see when they catch the 10 of Almirola. Anything could change there in the running. Wide in turn 3 that time for Bell. No big issue. He's got a gigantic lead in this race. And things are looking really, really bright for Christopher Bell. Just 15 laps to go. But what a redemption story after DNF in a 39th place finish at Pocono yesterday. He's managed his strategy well. He stayed out of trouble. Again, hasn't even hit the wall yet in this race. He might make it all 40 laps, 140 laps without doing that. I don't think I've ever not hit the wall in a cup race on any video game. NASCAR 21 Ignition would have been the last game of the ones I've played so far, just with the craziness of the glitches, crashes and the bugs that this game has, that this would have been it, especially at Pocono on the Tricky Triangle. We've only made contact with another car on 2 occasions in this race. And they were both in the first half of the race as well. Well, just trying to bring it in down the home stretch. Trying to get to that white flag before we see a yellow as well, so he's still going to be pushing. We'll have extremely old tires at the end of the race, only going to have to go 29 laps on this set of tires versus the first 3 runs of the race. He went 37 laps. Caution free, make it for a quick race pace so far as well. Hard chase cam for the rest of the race next time by. We'll have 12 to go next time by as well. Well, Michael McDowell in 11th place right now. Good run. Chase Elliott up to 24th. Line of lap traffic way up there, but actually looks like they're fairly spaced out. So got into the corner. I don't think there's a way to see how many laps you've led in a race. Like right after the race. Unfortunately, at least in the race now, maybe in the career mode you can go back and look, but fortunately, this we will not know. Bell has definitely led a lot. So it will be the 3rd race he has led the most laps in. Again, the first 2, he won the race, that being the Indianapolis Road Course 2 races ago, and Talladega earlier this season, the 6th race. All 4 wins will come in a 7-race stretch for Christopher Bell. He gets the checkered flag, finishing first today at Pocono. It'll be 3 wins in the last 4 races, and he will have won on each of the last 3 tracks, considering this is the same track we ran last night. He did not win at Pocono last night. Like we mentioned, he finished 39th DNF, only just over 50 laps in. That race was 10 laps shorter, 25 miles shorter than this one here tonight. This was last night's race. We'd be getting a white flag this time by. If we do get a caution, that will be a big difference in this one. We could see an accident because knowing the AI and how they pit, the inconsistencies with this game, we know they are going to have to pit one more time to the end. No Bell's good. Everybody else is likely going to be pitting very, very soon, if not already, for their final stop of the race. Either their 6th or 7th stop of the day. Ten to go. 10 laps left at Pocono. Haven't seen any of the lead lap cars in the pits yet. They're going to try to stretch it. I still doubt it. Going to be waiting for a caution as well. Bunch everything back together and then for them to pit. I'd hate to do it. Like I said, I'd like to keep the track position, but I think we have to pit if we get a caution from here on out, because we're going to be on an extreme disadvantage on tires. I know clean air matters at Pocono, but I do not trust this game And that's going to be likely our best shot, I think, of winning, even if we have a really bad pit stop.
Far right. Clear, clear, clear.
9 laps to go. Larson and Blaney, I believe, were in the pits that last time in 56th. Denny Hamlin outside the top 10 as far as the regular season points go. Finishes there at the end of the race. It's going to be pretty good for Christopher Bell. Trying to close. It's kind of hard with no stages, though, and being as far back in the points as he is. We got 135 points, and he's got over 200 right now, so he's quite a ways back. Small step in the right direction. Again, we've still got 14 races left till the playoffs after the checkered flag flies tonight. It will be a couple nights before the next race at Kansas, playing on Wednesday night, if I remember correctly, on the weekly streaming schedule. You can go into the community tab on the channel to take a look at the weekly streaming schedule that comes out every Monday on the channel. We are set for 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sorry, not Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peter scored 6th up ahead, so yeah. Kyle Busch is already pit as well. He's a lap down. He's going to try to get back on the leading lap. The race for that free pass position if there is a caution. That would get him back in this race. It was for certain. Actually not going over the pit or not. And that'll be another thing, too, to decide. Because the caution's going to, click by a few more laps. Probably 3 or 4, if I'd have to imagine. Checking up Keselowski pitting. Probably didn't have to check up there, but just, again, being safe with a big lead. This has been definitely the smartest in playing this race. So Bell has made his way through all season long. Even Talladega, where he didn't have to do much work. And he has pulled over for every race car that is closed in behind him, not wanting to take any risks. This was the older EA Sports games. Everybody would be our ally for let's just pull out away and let them pass us cleanly. Fortunately, in this game, that is not the case. 6 laps to go this time around. Back into the chat, Bill Crypto. One car pitting in that pack up ahead, and I believe it is Truex. Truex looked like he was speeding coming into the pits. It looked like he was flying into the pit lane. Yeah, the pit road glitch got us again. I did not damage it ourselves. We have not hit the wall this entire race. We only got 6 laps to go at Pocono. Car says otherwise, but that was the AI damage when we were in the pits. Wind back to the last pit stop at lap 111 to see what I mean by that. Or any of the pit stops, but the last one was... It just got worse and worse. Like, the first time we didn't hit anything when it did it. Second time, we got the back of the car. The last time, we got the back and the front, and nosed the front like 3 times. It was just more and more ridiculous. So Bell's got a 1-lap lead on the field. Everybody pitting 6 and 7 times today, and Bell only pitting 3 times. He's got a lot older tires than the rest of the field. We still have 5 laps to go. Oh, we got a crash into turn 1. It looked like it. I thought I saw a couple cars down in the grass. That might have just been them exiting the pits. I think it was. They looked a lot lower in the pit lane than what they are in the grass coming out of the pit lane than what they looked like. That caught me by surprise. I thought they were wrecking up there, but I think that was just their normal line.
Clear, clear.
Somebody's got to go back and look. I thought I saw cars wrecking in turn 1 up ahead, but I guess not.
All clear.
False alarm. False alarm. That was not what Bell needed to see. I think that was just them coming out of the pit lane. Go down, break the draft of the cars that he has just made his way by. 4 laps to go now for Christopher Bell. Boy, does he just want to see the white flag. Man, they entered so sharp into the grass up there. That's why it looked like they were wrecking. All 3 of them back to back to back. It looked like they were spinning. Daniel Suarez just coming out of the pit lane up ahead. Bell to the inside of him as Suarez is still getting up to speed into turn 2. Getting plenty of room to the outside. Delone, welcome to the stream. Yeah, pretty much agreed though with you. Kind of my take on the game too. Pass the bugs and the crashes. You don't have any in this race like we haven't, at least on the track. It's been the most enjoyable oval race so far.
3 more.
Three laps to go for Christopher Bell to get his 4th win of the season. Second with Green. Then 2 with DeWalt. They're slicing and dicing into turn 1. I think it was Chase Elliott passed a couple cars and pulled their tires yet. Bell going down to the bottom to stay out of Kurt Busch's way, breaking that draft. He's just going to let Kurt Busch go into turn 1. On the brakes way early into the corner. Playing it very, very smart. Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Coulson in as well. 2 to go this time by. Christian Gaines, welcome to the stream. Bell's going to pull out of the way off turn 3. Elliott Busch drafting each other. 2 laps to go at the line. 2 laps to go for Christopher Bell.
Car right.
There's his teammate Kyle Busch.
Your line. Clear all around. Clear all around.
He's going to get back in the lead lap. Wow, Elliott pulled down the middle of the corner and you saw the 20s jump up the track tight. Clean race. Super clean. Only 2 cars now in the lead lap with a lap and a half to go. Harvick first car lap down, he's 4.5 seconds back. I don't think he's going to catch Bell. He is not only the next car back, first car lap down in 3rd. He's going to be coming in hot. He's got a lot fresher tires, but 20-25 lap pressure tires at Pocono, that's a big difference. Even if he does, Bell's going to pull out of the way for him. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go. The Pocono Mountains 350 for Christopher Bell. Dominating race. He has kept it off the wall all day long. As clean of a race as you could ask for. Late scare, looked like we were going to see a crash. But guess we didn't, and really haven't seen a crash all day except for that pit road entry lap 40, and there was only 2 cars that spun. I got in the back of one of them, no heavy damage. That was one of only 2 times he even made contact with anybody today. Maybe the cleanest race we'll ever have in a NASCAR video game for ourselves. Caution-free as well to add on to it. 4th caution-free race of the year. All 4 of those, Bell won. This is his 4th career win, 4th of the season. Checkered flag waves. Christopher Bell is a winner at Pocono. Redemption from last night. What a race. What a race. Standout performance for Christopher Bell. Only 2 cars finished on the lead lap in this caution-free event, with Bell winning, Kyle Busch in 2nd. Kevin Harvick ends up 3rd, Kyle Larson 4th, Joey Logano rounds out the top 5. Alex Bowman 6th, Ryan Blaney 7th, William Byron 8th, Chris Buescher 9th, and Martin Truex Jr. rounds out the top 10. Max points day, of course, with no stages on the line. You had a few drivers DNF. Cole Custer, we saw him nosing into the pit wall the last 2 times we were in the pits. Austin Dillon, unfortunately, DNF'd as well. He won last night's Pocono race, but I don't think he was really running better than 20th, excuse me, last time we saw him on the track. Eric Jones, unfortunately, DNF'd. He was in the top 15 at one point. He was like 12 to 13 last we saw him, so that's tough. And David Reagan also DNF'd, so 4 drivers failed to finish this race. By the end of it, Not sure what the margin of victory is yet. Wait for the leaders to pass by. I'm going to take a picture so that way when I do the points. Alrighty. Probably see the margin of victory now. Nope, Kyle Busch still has not crossed the line. I'm surprised he hasn't. Yeah, there's no burnouts in this game. We do get to check out Christopher Bell in victory lane, though. But yeah, no burnout in the game. Well, actually, if you want to go back to lap 111, we did a burnout on pit road when the AI took over for us, so that'll be our burnout. It was like the game was predicting us to win. So it did our burnout early, and we actually got to do 3 of them. So, there we go. Christopher Bell, a winner. One of the coolest trophies in NASCAR, by the way, at Pocono. That Eagle. We didn't get to have it last night. We had a second attempt at it tonight. And Christopher Bell gets the win. All right. Well, that is going to wrap it up here tonight. Like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. No trivia tonight. Those of you asking, that's only if we DNF in the first half of a race. I can't just stream for like an extra hour every night. I have a lot to do tonight before I go to Bowling Green tomorrow night to watch the University of Toledo Bowling Green game. Some action on Wednesday night. Rivalry game between the two. Their biggest rivalry, the Battle of I-75. They got a trophy. Rivalry trophy on the line. Who is last in points going into the night? Let me check real quick. Again, this is not including this race. I know Priest had a top 10 last night, so he's not last anymore. Let's see here. Ty Dillon was last in points going into this race in the 96 for Gaunt Brothers. He had 13 points total in the first 11 races of the year going into tonight. So pretty bad there. And only 2 points ahead of him is Kaz Gralla in the 16. So those have been the 2 worst so far. Cindric, who has only made a couple starts, has like 19 points. I think the 62 has only made a couple starts going. I mean, granted, he was pretty good for most of the day, but he's got 20 points as well. So I don't think the 96 has started every race as well as the 16, so maybe it's not like 1 point on average every race, but those are non-chartered cars, so I would not be surprised. But yeah, 4th win of the year for Christopher Bell. Next race of this schedule will be at Kansas in 2 nights on Thursday. Tomorrow night will be a premiere. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be the start of the premiere. I will hopefully be in the chat for that one. Not sure how long it's going to be exactly yet. Still got to finish editing tonight. But thanks for everybody tuning in. I should do a stream dedicated to Sporkle. We can have like a Trivia Tuesday or Trivia Thursdays or something like that. That's not impossible. It's not impossible. I still have big plans for trivia thing if I could collab with other NASCAR YouTubers. I wanted to do it for the off season because I felt like that was a perfect time, but still haven't been able to get contact with any of them. I've reached out, but I still don't think they really know I have a YouTube channel, but or they did see when I reached out. But anyway, yeah, we'll see. We'll see in the long run if something like that could work out. But I've got ideas, guys. I got big ideas for the channel in the long run. But I will see you guys. I won't see you in person tomorrow, but I will see you in the chat tomorrow in the premiere, and I will see you live again on Thursday night. So Kansas for that one, Daytona Road Course premiere tomorrow. Thanks, everybody, for smashing that like button. Again, like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. 24 likes right now as we're about to end the stream. I'll see you guys. Thanks for watching.